I think this is a place where they can just relax and chill and collect their thoughts before they go back out there. I feel like it's my second home.
At Desert Christian High School, the Student Services Room can be a sanctuary. The door is always open to students with learning disabilities, mental health disorders, emotional trauma, or other challenges that can make school a stressful place. Here, they can talk to tutors, work on projects, or find some respite from the day.
The idea is to meet the needs for that individual learner. And the way we look at it is that it honors that kid for their humanity, the way they are, the way they were designed to learn.
Desert Christian is an independent faith-based school, but secular private and public schools are also exploring ways to support students' mental health, largely because the demand has never been higher. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, about 20% of teens experience a mental health disorder in any given year, and that prevalence is on the rise.
It increased dramatically over the years. Students with ADD, and not only that, but students with really serious issues like schizophrenia, students with bipolar disorder.
Okay, so we'll know how much money we have for our
As a
training
former
next year.
teacher and counselor, and as the current director of student services for the Marana Unified School District, Cindy Ruich helps implement a multi-level system of support for students who are struggling socially or emotionally.
We want school to be a safe place where they feel valued and so that they're able to learn. Because if their social emotional is not intact, they're not going to be ready for the academic side.
But without guidelines or requirements for mental health support, schools are inconsistent in what they offer. And with resources stretched thin, many schools can't keep up.
Marana High School has 2,200 kids and 4.5 counselors. And if you look across Pima County, not all schools have counselors. And some districts use social workers at certain grade levels, but have nothing at elementary. With all of the budget cuts from the State Department, unfortunately, counselors are one of the first people, or I should say employees, that school districts cut. So there is not a standard across Pima County or across Arizona. The focus is really on academics. And it's not, people don't want to talk about mental health. Mental health really has a stigma, and so we don't want to talk about that.
And in terms of the prevalence of mental illness.
Psychologist Patricia Harrison Monroe works with teens and young adults and has seen that stigma keep students from seeking or getting help.
Some people assume that you just need to pull yourself together and stop whining and you should be okay. And so there's a lot of misinformation within the school system, I think, that just kind of gets perpetuated. It's a reflection of our society in general.
She says the key is educating educators about mental health and emotional trauma.
That means opening yourself up to trainings, being willing to spend the time to learn more, being able to look at an individual student and say, here are several of the warning signs that I've learned about recently. I need to make a referral. I need to tell somebody. I need to really, if it's beyond my level or my ability to intervene, I need to do something with that information versus ignoring it and hoping, the child will either go away, transfer out of the school, or just grow out of it.
In the Center for Child Well-Being at Arizona State University, researcher Judy Kreisig is making that training more accessible. She and her colleagues have designed online modules that teach teachers how to recognize emotional distress and make the classroom more mental health friendly.
Children cannot achieve when they are traumatized, when they have other things that are going on that aren't being addressed in the classroom. So I believe this is something that can actually help teachers to help children succeed in the classroom.
Teachers can work through the modules at their own pace.
These are conditions that increase the likelihood a child will recover from a traumatic event or events.
Playing out classroom scenarios and answering questions as they go. The goal is for teachers to learn to integrate mental health awareness into everything they do.
It's almost like we treat children as if they come in pieces. So the school deals with the education, the medical doctor deals with the physical health. But that's not the reality, is that children go to school with all their pieces. They're social, they're emotional, as well as having to learn. We have to deal with the whole child, and we have to help teachers to help the children.
And when that happens, Cindy Ruich says every child can have a chance at the education he or she deserves.
We need to find that balance where people have the education they need to really understand a mental health issue, number one. What does that mean for a kid? Does it mean that they can't learn? No, it doesn't mean they can't learn. But really they need that level of understanding, I believe. If we don't give them voice, we're gonna miss the boat, I believe, on really helping them to be as successful as they can be.